Hey cousin, who you chilling with?
I'm chilling with Monie.
Hey cousins, welcome back to the crib. Audio Monie here. We are on our third video of the day, so please do me a favor and smash that like button on your way in. It literally costs you nothing. Help your cousin get into the algorithm, y'all. And if you are here for the very first time, welcome. Come in, take a seat, get a snack, and consider hitting the subscribe button to become a part of the family. Over here, we get into the mess, we get into the trending topics of music, entertainment, and the meaning behind it all. So let's get into our next topic, which is the Grand National Tour. The Grand National Tour with SZA has officially come to an end. Oh, so sad. So sad to see SZA go. And before we close this chapter, I want to talk about just how massive this run has been. Talk about some of the highs, the lows, the funny moments, the success of the tour, the moments that had the internet in a chokehold, and how Kendrick Lamar and SZA turned this tour basically into a cultural event that reached far beyond the people that were even in the arena. So let's get into that. First off, let's start with this because this was a funny moment on Twitter, social media, or whatever. Y'all know I'm a straight shooter over here. I've said it before, and I'm gonna always be real with y'all. I was not a fan of SZA going into this tour. I really didn't care for her being on the tour. In my opinion, she is not a strong vocalist. And maybe I guess, apprehension towards her because I am a fan of Beyonce. When you're a fan of Beyonce, you start to grow a taste for certain things, but then that's not really fair to SZA because not everybody is Beyonce. But like I said, I didn't ever think that she was a good, strong live vocalist from the things that I have seen. And I really didn't connect to her music, truthfully. But I will say that watching her across this tour has changed my perception of her. I feel like she's proven herself as an entertainer. Yeah, she had a few mic issues here and there. But what I loved is, even with those issues, she kept a positive attitude about it, and she came back the very next day, and her mic was better than what it was the previous day. Her energy was higher. I think on the first show, the one of the ants or whatever it was almost dropped her. She kept a cool face. She didn't give up, and she came back the next day better. So I gotta give my girl her tens for that, of course. And SZA, she's definitely walking away from this entire situation with more believers than she came in with. She kept her core fans fed while pulling in some new ones. And yes, that includes me. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to attend another a solo concert of hers. That's likely not going to happen. But she will definitely get some streams out of me. So kudos to you, Solana, like I said. Also, another phony moment from this happened when me and Punch had an exchange on Twitter where I talked about Kendrick being a very kind person to share his biggest moments with SZA recently, and everybody, oh, boo, 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 it's a joint tour, blah, 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 tomato, tomato, tomato. I swear if they could throw a tomato at me through the phone, they probably would have. But I'm still of the opinion that he's shared his biggest moments with SZA recently. We're talking about music, the Super Bowl, making her a co-headliner of the tour, and it is what it is. Y'all can be screaming it's both their tours while ignoring the fact that the tour is named after his album. The show opens and closes with his songs. The stage design, the GNX car, the entire production, all Kendrick Lamar and PG Lane. Why is it a problem that I pointed that out? Why can't I say that? And when the tour picks up again in September, he will be moving on without her and continuing the tour. So that was a funny moment during these last couple months. So I had to just throw that in there because I wouldn't be me if I didn't throw that in here because it was the moment. I mean, we had great live streams, we had that moment, and we're probably gonna have some more down the line once he gets to his next leg. On the next leg, she won't be there, like I said, but he's bringing Schoolboy Q and Doechii along for the ride, which is gonna be amazing. And I can't wait to see him link back up with Schoolboy Q. And I can't wait to see what Doechii does because she has been killing her festival stages. But back to SZA real quick because she did thank Kendrick Lamar for the opportunity of being on tour with him. I'm pretty sure she'll probably make a bigger post, like an actual post, because she just posted this to her Instagram story. So she'll probably have another Instagram story with her moments from the tour. But she did show love to Kendrick Lamar for letting her be a part of this opportunity. And now let's talk about the execution of the show. The execution of the show is ridiculous. Shout out to the production team. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Dave Free and everybody behind the ones and twos on the keyboard, because like I said, the execution of the show, the stage design, the production, ridiculous. Kendrick turned the stage into like a moving museum of Black culture. The visuals were cinematic. We saw old clips of himself as a baby, as a kid, his family, his friends, his city, where he's from, were front and center. Amazing visuals. Also, his clothing choices, the clothing that he repped the entire tour were steeped in hip hop. From the 90s streetwear silhouettes to the mid 2000s baggy fits, telling a story with every look. All of these jackets were custom made for him for the tour. Amazing outfits. I think the army fatigue pant one was probably one of my faves. This army fatigue black and gray down here at the bottom, the two-piece set was fire. He got off a bunch of good looks that I enjoyed. Also, the dancers. Let's talk about the dancers. They weren't just filler. They were a part of the narrative. They moved in unison, like an embodiment of a beat. They had, the West Coast dances, Black culture crumping, very raw, very hip hop. I dubbed the black dancers, the girls. Well, they all were Black, but Kendrick made sure that he went with dark skinned dancers as far as the women go, the men as well too, but I think they a few different shades. But I dubbed them the Humblebees. that was my nickname for them. Up there looking like various different versions of Doechii. Beautiful Black women getting off and doing it well. Like, they killed it. You couldn't tell them nothing. And then let's talk about the numbers, right? Let's get into some number talk. Here we go. Hold on. Because the tour was history in the making. This became the highest grossing co-headline tour ever, passing up Beyonce and Jay-Z's On the Run 2. He broke multiple records in multiple cities. But the biggest flex, I guess you can say, is when they hit up Toronto for 2 nights in a row, with his stomping grounds for his arch nemesis, whose name I won't say, but that was the night the crowd was screaming for him to perform Not Like Us over and over again. It was a time. They had a time in Toronto when he broke the record as the first artist, the first rapper to sell it out, because someone else in their hometown never did it before. So, but yeah, every stop was something, was a moment. The mosh pits have been crazy all over TikTok. The live streams, I've even run my own live streams with, I think one time we had like 2,000 people in a live stream. The timelines were flooded with clips the morning after, the day of. And then they also had some guests. SZA brought out Lizzo, Justin Bieber, and I think K-Tronada, while Kendrick, he kept his guest list short, where he only brought out Baby Keem and SZA to perform their song together. And SZA only got to perform really because he kept pressing for it. He kept hitting up and asking, hey, I'm trying to come through, rehearse, I'm trying to get on that stage. If he didn't do that, he wouldn't have gotten the stage. So kudos to SZA for calling his own number and making sure he hit that stage, because it was a fire performance. And it was very legendary. That's the best way to describe it. And next up is Latin America. And for Kendrick, this isn't just like a victory lap. This is just cementing himself as one of the greatest live performers in not just hip hop history, but history in general. Between the Mr. Morale tour, the GNX tour, he's given us two of the best rap concerts ever. And the run he's on right now, I'll argue he's one of the greatest we've ever seen from as far as a rapper. Like, I'm willing to stamp that. But cousins, I gotta ask, did y'all attend a concert? What was your favorite moment? Did you survive a mosh pit? And if you didn't make it, are you planning to pull up to Latin America? Let's talk about it in the comments. Y'all be safe. I appreciate you staying until the end of this video. And I will catch y'all in my next one. Later.
Hey cousin, who you chilling with?
I'm chilling with Monie.